Now, different types of content on LinkedIn do generate different levels of engagement. For example, right now, at the time of filming this, text posts do typically get higher views, which is great if you're a new content creator because they actually are the easiest type of content to create. We're not told too much about the analytics of our content. A view on LinkedIn simply means that somebody saw the content on their feed, so they could quite easily have scrolled past the post. In contrast, videos typically get less views, but to get a video view, you must have watched a video for 3 seconds. Now, unfortunately, we don't know things like watch time yet on LinkedIn personal profiles, but at least you then know that someone had to watch 3 seconds of a video for it to count as a view. And a video view is a high quality view because you can convey more information in a video than you can in a text post. LinkedIn carousels are probably the underutilized bit of content. They do take a bit of time, and once you design one carousel, you can duplicate it and it's quite easy to create more. So definitely check out my video here on how to create LinkedIn carousels. So I'll walk you step by step on how to create this type of content. That is brilliant because it stops people in their tracks and they naturally scroll through, meaning you can be more sure that your audience did consume the information that you created in your content. In my opinion, taking the time to create content like videos and carousels is definitely worth it. For example, in a video, you can really convey your personality and allow someone to know you, which is invaluable if you're in the service business and that person would need to work with you. That's where you can stand out from your competition and really start to push your products, your services, or resources that you have on your profile. But like I said, text posts do generate high views, and absolutely you can focus on text posts, increase your volume of your posts before you start to integrate video content, which is what I did on my profile. I would definitely recommend that you guys check out Shield Analytics, which is right now is our best way to get more analytics on our LinkedIn profiles that we can actually get natively on LinkedIn. And what you can do in Shield is you can start to see how different bits of content, which you can categorize by the type of content. For example, you can use tags like videos, text, carousels, and images, and you can see for yourself the sort of content mix that you should have. For example, you might see that text posts just by far get the most views, and if that's what you care about, and that's the metric you care about, you can start to use this data for that strategy. What I saw in Shield is that although my video views got less views, they had a much higher engagement rate, which means that people are actually stopping, consuming my content because they're commenting about that video. And I know that because they're commenting and leaving a video. So to summarize, I would definitely suggest having a mix of content and posting a mix of content because different bits of content have different benefits. Now I'm going to talk about the last section of this video, which is different strategies you can use to get more views on your LinkedIn content in 2020. As I suggested earlier, you should be thinking about how your profile looks on different stages of LinkedIn. You should be considering where your profile appears. For example, if you're engaging throughout LinkedIn, that means your profile image and your headline are going to be visible. As you can see here, if I optimize my headline to really show people what I'm about and to hook them in clicking on my profile, this is a great opportunity to really optimize your header, get more views on your content and on your profile. You should also be optimizing your profile photo. So very simply, just ask maybe your work colleagues or someone at work to take a professional photo of you, or ask a family and friend to take a photo of you behind a professional looking background. Don't worry too much about how the photo looks, just make sure that it looks half professional. This is what people see in your direct messages, on your content, and if these are people who you don't actually know in person, this is what they have to go by on the platform. If you're building a high quality network which makes you enjoy the platform, then you'll naturally show up on LinkedIn every single day, every single week. What I like to do is I like to reach out to high flyers in the space, so perhaps professionals who are a few steps ahead of me, or people who inspire me across different industries or in the same industry, and I like to engage and be visible and build a relationship on their posts. And like I said, if someone does a great bit of content, but you can be the best comment on that content, then this will direct people to your content because they'll see your profile in the comment section and they'll click on it if your content and your profile is optimized. Another tip on how to get more views on LinkedIn in 2020 is to optimize your content and post at peak times. Like I said, I have this video here which goes in depth into this and optimizing your content to get more views. I'd definitely check out this video as a follow-up to this video right now. And finally, my last tip is to use your reactions smartly. So reactions on LinkedIn were only brought out quite recently, and this is when instead of just liking on someone's post, you can leave a heart, which is love, you can celebrate, which is the claps, or you can do a curious reaction or the insight reaction, which is the light bulb. But what I like to do personally is to use reactions on content that I enjoy that other people haven't used yet. So for example, I used to joke that people called me Mr. Insightful because all I would used to do is use the insight reaction. So if there's a great bit of content going out and I want to get noticed by the person who created that content, I would look at the reactions, which you can do by clicking on the reaction, and I'd see what reaction hasn't been done yet. Because if you do a reaction that that person hasn't seen yet, chances are when they go in to check how their content is done, they'll click on the reactions and your profile will be noticed because you're the only person to use that reaction. Yes, it's a small trick, but if you're showing up daily on LinkedIn, you're doing these sort of strategies day in, day out, and you're identifying people that you want to get to know and you want to have in your audience, this is a great way for someone to see your profile before you then follow up with a direct message introducing yourself. So guys, I really hope this video has been useful for you, and of course like this video and subscribe if you want to see more videos on how to maximize your LinkedIn content strategy.